Howdy gamers, Old Gamer Guy here, and welcome to another Stellaris Console Edition video. If you have been following along, you have seen the rise of the cloud and then their subsequent fall back into obscurity. They weren't really trying to dominate the galaxy by any means. They just wanted to make some friends and advance in a spirit of cooperation, but instead they were defeated in a war by the Exedar Star Collective and the Kadeshi, and they became vassals of the Exedar, and then eventually they became integrated by the Exedar, and at that point I lost complete control over my empire. And the game was pretty much over really, but I wanted to see what happened next, so I continued on in observer mode, and here is what happened. In the year 2386, the Exedar absorbed the remnants of the Boss Pactux corporate holdings, who also had been made into a vassal after that same war. And at that point, the Exedar had a nice little foothold right in the middle of the Kadeshi Star Imperium, who were their former allies. And this did not sit well with the Kadeshi. So then in the year 2418, I noticed, wow, look at all this ship movement here. What's going on? As a person who is no longer in the game, I don't get alerts anymore, but I still have limited access to a menu. And so I checked my contacts menu, and I discovered that the Kadeshi had gone to war with their former partners in crime, the Exedar. I'll admit I was feeling sort of silly after being knocked out of the game like I was so early, but then I realized that my little section of space was of great strategic importance, and one of my last acts as the commander of the forces was to construct a defensive platform fortress in our system, and it quickly became apparent that this platform was going to be of great strategic importance in the coming war. Time after time, they warped into the Abdrade system, attempting to take New Aroma and the defensive fortress that I constructed. It held. It repelled invasion after invasion, as you will see. Eventually it became apparent that the Exidar forces were actually much more formidable than the Kadeshi forces, and the war began to shift farther and farther into Kadeshi's space. And finally, in the year 2428, the Exidar Star Collective won a domination victory by owning 40% of all habitable planets. It is what it is. I didn't really play very well, admittedly, But I'm glad my defensive fortress had a role to play in the final war, and this will certainly not be the last game of Stellaris console edition that I play, and I'm sure that I'll be making more videos eventually, but for now, this is it. And for those of you who stuck with it this long, I say thank you for watching.